Now live streaming to YouTube. Okay, excellent, excellent. So let's see. We got uh, yeah, we got that one up. That's good. And yeah, so hey, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Benedick Howard, and I'm your host today with to answer your questions, health-related questions on Q&A Wednesdays. And this is the first episode that I've put together, and I'm committed to doing this basically weekly. And basically, I'm committed to doing it weekly, and because I really want to help people really learn some of these secrets that my nearly 40 years as a health enthusiast and last 20, 30 years as a coach, health coach, uh, I can really bring some stuff to the table for you. Um, I have a lot of background in this and a lot of, good engineering skills that have allowed me to look at the health of people's bodies and manage to get mine at an extraordinary level. Um, and so I wanted to just go through some slides with you and then ask the Q&As that I have here, or the questions that I have here, and give you answers that are really are breakthrough. Some of these things you can do at home. Nobody's talking about it, and I mean nobody is talking about it. And I also want to include stuff on the mitochondrial connection. So let's see if I've still got this all set up good. And yeah, I just need to move some stuff around, but here we go. And let's get this in front of that one and this back over here, and then I can do it. So welcome, Q&A Wednesdays. So let's get going. Now, I want to tell you that this is for you if you'd like to combat stress, anxiety, low energy, etc. If you're suffering from tiredness even after a good night's sleep, if you've got like massive pain, you don't know how to get rid of it, if you've got insomnia, confusion, negativity, frustration, depression, and advice on how to quickly turbo boost your immunity right now. And so that's what I'm here to do with you, and looking forward to sharing with you. So let's move on. If this is you, then stick to the end, because I have a kind of a neat gift that I'll give to you at the end of this broadcast. So uh, so I have nothing to sell here. This is not a sales pitch, and this is just a health-related pitch on how to understand your body in a completely different way. And so without further ado, we're going to cover how to boost your immunity at home, and I'm going to keep this really quick and short and sweet because, otherwise these things just get lost. The best exercises and nutrition and that mindset. Critical thinking is absolutely imperative right now. The mitochondria connection, which are these little things that are behind here, right? These are these tiny, tiny organelles inside our cells, and your unique questions answered. Now, a little bit about my background. I've been an ashtanga yoga practitioner since, 20 years. I'm a yoga practitioner for more like 40 years, 50 years. How can that be? No, 40 years, 30, 40 years. And I've been training myself to do the high altitude hiking here in Hawaii. And we go up to nearly 14,000 feet. And I've trained my body pretty amazingly to do it. And the reasons that I can do it are kind of surprising. It's not what you would think. It's more that now I've mastered my body to do those hikes, 12-hour hikes on a fast. And actually, I get much better results when I do it that way. How do we do that? Well, more on that in a moment. So basically, this is for three reasons for you to stay in and stick with me. It's like during this it's not a workshop, this event, but during this free presentation or Q&A session, I'm going to answer your questions so that you can get going, right? To manage your stress, anxiety, low energy, etc. And also the mind game stuff around negativity and frustration and depression and confusion. Second reason why you want to stick with me to the end, and it won't be very long, I promise you. I want to keep this really short so that it makes it really consumable because, ultimately I would like some of you folks to consider me as your health coach, but that's not my intent. Yes, I do have health coaching, and I do charge a top dollar for it, but that's not in my intention here in this in this um, in this Q&A session. So, in short, I'll show you how to create a healthy immune system without drugs, supplements, or even special foods or diets in just a few days. And actually, part of it is just 5-10 minutes of work. And so let's move on. So I've coached all sorts of really high interesting people. That's what I really focused on. People that are sort of fit, but they really want to move to another level. And we have Claudia Erland, actually was the name, Senior Lead Navy Intelligence USA. And she came with very complicated immune system issues, and we got her back. With Humaid, he's from United Arab Emirates. He had a sleeping issue, and we got him back sleeping. And this is the first time that he could do that and sleep more than half an hour at a time. And for Dr. Roberto Girardi in Bologna, you're helping people. I start to make the best of myself too. So, yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate your testimonials here and actually coming in and working with me for over those months. So I'm going to jump right into this glorious, this germ theory myth shit, right? And basically, I want you to look at this from, and so this is to do with boosting your immune system. If you don't understand these photos, let me just explain it. So on the photo on the left here, we've got germ theory, which is that germs are all around us, like the fish in the plastic bag, in clean water, inside the dirty environment. And so their answer to the germ theory myth is to vaccinate the fish, right? Now, it is such a simplistic model and actually totally in error. And numerous doctors are coming forward now and petitioning the government that the whole virus stuff is absolute fake, fake, fake. And as is everything else just about in the health industry. Not only the health industry, all of these industries, they have been totally corrupted over generations of education or indoctrination. It just takes 7 times repeating a message for you to get it. So if you want to become one of my health coaching clients, reach out to connect with me. But that's, again, not the purpose of this. This is really to help you understand what's going on here, because in our gut is the replication, or it's very similar. The microbes that we get in our gut, in a healthy gut, are very similar to the soil microbes that we get in healthy soil. Interesting, right? And it's those bacteria in the gut that really keep us healthy, and it's largely to do with the mitochondrial connection. Now, what happens in this germ theory myth model is that it gets super complicated. Viruses are not infectious in truth, but in the germ theory model, they are. And so they have had to lie and cheat their way through it to get to where they are. But when we are in our environment, right, everything in our environment impinges upon us. And it's been shown, I forgot to bring the books in this week, but I will next week. There's some couple of books that are really important. One is like, I don't know, 700-800 pages on this whole topic of how the medical system has been deliberately corrupted and actually turned upside down on what the reality is. So in this reality of healthy immune system is that we need to be interacting with our environment all the time. And if we're not interacting, then things begin to fall apart. And that's when we get tired, and that's when this, that, and the other. But what we really need to do is understand, and which is I'm going to move into in a moment, is the importance of the mitochondria and how that energy connection, which still is misunderstood by everybody, just about. And because I happen to be a specialist that worked with and understood electrical medicines, 20 years of work with them, and electrical medicines. And so it's taught me a lot about how things are really going on from the, quote, computer-based system in the body, which is all reliant upon electricity, not electrons. That's another model, which is as an electrical engineer, was a mining engineer, and you're about from school, but it's not about that anymore. It's really about understanding how upside down they've made this world. And so I'm going to ask you this question. Did you know that in this one, Healthy, Vibrant Life, and in my book, which you can download, it's the Wellness Ninja Manifesto from my site ebodyfusion.com, and those links are in the description underneath the YouTube video. You'll see that I have a quote or a thing that I made up in there or wrote about in there, which is, be super careful about this research for death health trap. What I'm saying here is you need to do something about it, not about researching. And I am someone that you can trust, as you saw with those other people. I've coached gold medalist coaches to get the athletes back on track twice as fast. There's all sorts of stuff that I can do with you. But this is one of these disinformation bullshit stuff that's going on from in this case, Dr. Robert Morse. And he's saying that getting acids out of your lymph system is a key way to health, and this is done by eating alkaline-forming diet. Correct. Of raw living foods. Correct. Mostly fruits and veggies. Wrong. And the reason for that is it's wrong, wrong, wrong. I have here in front of me a healthy, if I don't get lost in here, glass of, well, what do we make in this? This is coconut, raw coconut that's in there, greens from the garden. It's the greens or the vegetable juices that you want. The sugars in the fruits, although most people don't like to admit to this, it's the sugars in the fruits that are deleterious to us. And so heads up on that one. And so I don't want you to make these mistakes, because what it does is it perpetuates the same old thing. And so to advance to the next phase of growth for your health, you must evolve your mindset, right? It's a mind game, just like it was for me walking up 14,000 feet from 9,000 feet. It's a mind game. You've got to learn to discipline your mind, in my case, to breathe and stay breathing at a steady rate and keep my pace, my walking pace, to a steady rate all the way. And I can do that for hours now. I certainly couldn't do it at the beginning. So it's really about making better decisions and taking action, which of course as a coach, I'm here to facilitate you to get these different results. So let's talk about the mitochondria or dysfunctional connection here for the little bit. At my site, Athletic Healthcare, and we're going to go to that in a little more in a moment, I've just been putting together RSS feeds, and I'm trying to focus on mitochondrial health and stuff like that, feeding into that site. So it's, healthcare news for athletes. And inside this is how complicated this whole thing can get, right? Inside here, we've got the workings of the cytochrome C and how it energizes through, and see the sodium in there and magnesium. And let me tell you that magnesium is super, super important in your diet. In fact, if I don't take maybe a gram or two of magnesium before I do those long, arduous 12-hour high elevation hikes, I will get fatigued much sooner. And it's important to keep that magnesium level up in there as a whole bunch of other things too. But if you look inside the cell walls of this mitochondria, these are tiny, 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 tiny things, right? This is inside a cell. And these cell membranes have a potential voltage across them. More on that later, but just remember that it is all about maintaining that electrical potential. It's all about getting the body charged to a certain electrical potential and keeping it there. And fortunately for me, even though I've had like major injuries all my life, I am now able to maintain that. So that's pretty darn awesome. So let's get to questions, answers here, and I've got a number of them here, and I want to pull them all up for you, and get those questions done. So here we have one, and this is from my eBody Fusion site, people, and so this lady is saying, "Hi, I wish to know how serapeptase can help prostate." How serapeptase can help prostate problems. Thanks. You know, I am not a medical doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice, right? And I am giving you my opinion based on my experience, right? So in that experience, I've been able to, look at a lot of different things. And so my answer to him was, it's not really my expertise to answer specifically about this because I'm not a vendor of serapeptase, but I have used it for a number of years and to tremendous results. But having said that, there are natural things that you can do for prostate problems to clean out the body system so that the body has a chance to do it. And so what I said was start with fasting to clean the blood, right? And also, so that's where I would always start, is with getting yourself into either partial fasting or complete fasting, right? For a day or two or three or four or more. And a water fast will work well. And with my Wellness Ninja Manifesto, there's an email series that comes with it, and the examples that I give with it. So let's move on to the next question. That's probably too specific for what I want to talk about here, but it was asking about equipment. I'll answer it anyway, just in case there's people here who are aware of the scanner type microcurrent devices. And this visitor is saying, or this person is saying, is there a difference between the DNAS PCM6 and the Rhythm scanner in method? Well, I don't know what they mean by in method, but application method, I don't. Anyway, is there a difference between the two of them? Yeah, they look different. They have different electrodes. They have different programs in them, and they have different settings. If you know what you're doing, there's no difference in the result. And actually, I did a 2-year study, which I archived. I have tons and tons of case histories that I've archived over the last 30 years of working with people in sound and then electrical healing. And I've got like tons of case histories. And so the difference is always in the application. And I can't overemphasize this. 84% of these devices end up on people's shelves because they're too cheap to get proper training on coaching. You see, the body changes very quickly when you get into my type of coaching. And you have to keep on adjusting the strategies to go with it. So there we have it on that one in a nutshell. This Wildcrafter lady said she's considering purchasing a scanner. Just do it, and like a visitor, like a client that I have in process now, Tracy, she's just finished her 3rd month of coaching, and you can see her review there on YouTube and on my Facebook pages. And it's amazing what she's been able to achieve from somebody who's been locked down basically with phony virus stuff for the last 5 years. So her lockdown started a lot before ours. 5 years, and now she's up and she's mostly out of pain. Her knee that was crippling her isn't crippling her anymore. It's just amazing what Tracy has done, and you can too. So let's see. Yeah, this Gumit wanted to check out my self-help video that I'd shot from the mountain, right? Because I've been shooting a lot of stuff on the volcano during my hikes because it's such an extraordinary space to be in. And so my answer to her was, yeah, aloha Gumit. It was amazing up Mauna Loa today. Thanks for watching. And let me introduce, well, I introduce this to you to later. I'm still building out this new website, which is what I've said here. It's got some glitches still, but sign up and get going in the members area, and looking forward to seeing you on with your first tip. So that's what I'm going to introduce to you later on. So there's a little heads up. And over here we got, I'm just picking these out randomly actually. No, that was somebody who came into a call and was having trouble getting in. Yeah. And just randomness. Okay, what does Sebastian have to say? Hey, I paid for an assessment. Yeah, what I do is before people come into an initial consult with me, I have them do a quick assessment, and that way we can I know pretty well what's going on in your body even before you've joined me, and I've studied what you said before we go into a talk. So that is a really powerful way to get going with me, is to go to ebodyfusion.com, and more on that link later. And you can get that assessment there too. So let's get more into some specifics. This low energy thing is like super important. My partner here, Linda, is sitting on my right, and she keeps notes and timestamps on all the work that we do, so that we have a record of it. And okay, then this lady's saying, I'd like to know how the current can assist in obesity, and when used moving up through the feet. Oh, I think she's talking, or he's talking, about grounding. Yeah, and so grounding is super important, and I do cover that. And grounding is so important because it really helps to energize the system and get rid of excess negativity from the body. So I wasn't sure when I answered this what it was, but again, it's that partial fasting and the other things that I'm going to reveal in a moment. And so I wanted to keep these really short and sweet, and get to your questions next week if I haven't got to them today. And let's see, let's just do one more if I can get it. Yeah. Okay, so let's. Right. Oh, okay, here we go. Here's another one. I picked up serapeptase at the vitamin shop today. I got the vitamin shop brand Doctor's Best, was not in stock. So here we go. You must get from a good source. The vitamin shop is not a good source. And don't mess around with stuff. This is too critical, guys. Don't mess around with stuff that's been denatured, right? You want the purest stuff that you can get. And that's what I'm going to share with you right now. So let's move on and into the next slide. So before you leave, I've got a gift for you, and which I'll be giving to you right away. So, and now my gift for you is, if you'd like to combat stress, anxiety, low energy, tiredness, insomnia, confusion, negativity, frustration, depression, and quickly turbo boost your immunity right now, I have for you lockdown coaching. And that system is just about ready. I've been doing the videos up on the mountain, and there's some really good stuff in there. So it's at lockdowncoaching.com. It's not debugged yet, but I'm working on it, and so we might have some problems. Now this is the fact that we're going to dig in deeper in future broadcasts. The 6,000 trillion mitochondria in your body. Now, most people don't even know how big a mitochondria, how big a trillion is, but we'll get to that later, or you can catch one of my videos on it. But it's quite remarkable. So it's really about this, and about activating this and understanding how to do it. So lockdowncoaching.com, and for to boost your immunity, to solve the problem, to get you amazing clarity so you can critically think your way through the situation that we've got going now and not be a victim to it. So that's my purpose here. It's been great talking with you. I think that's the last slide. Yep. And it's been great talking with you. And Q&A Wednesdays. So for next week, send in your Q&As to me, or your Qs to me, and I'll get to them in the next week or the following show and fill you in on how you can do specifically for things like, oh, yeah, all of those things that we were talking about: tiredness, low stress, stress, anxiety, low energy, tiredness, insomnia, confusion, negativity, etc. And because we really want to get your mind super clear, super clear, okay? So having said all of that, let's go back to this scene, and it's been a pleasure presenting this to you. Hope you got some value out of it and can get you motivated to move on.